world. The weather outside is not that cold, and if you take my hand, I'll walk with you to Georgia.
Hello everyone and welcome to Country with Celine. I am your host, Celine Tremarky, and on today's show we have up-and-comer Spencer Burns.
Should've said don't buy no shots for no one here. Oh, should've come with a warning. Ooh, don't sit right there, don't sip on what they're pouring you. Her kiss is gonna kill you in the morning. Night ain't gonna end too good. Everything about that night I thought I wanted. Should've come with a warning. Ooh.
Spencer, how are you doing today?
I am living the dream. Happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you here. Now, let's give the viewers a little backstory on you and how we met. So, I was doing Finn McCool's live shows, and Spencer just so happened to come on in, and he was supporting Matt Teed. I think there was Jeff Forgeron and Jessica Soul. They were the performers that night. So I ended up meeting Spencer, and Spencer shared a little information that he worked at a bar downtown in Toronto. Well, this story has to get told as well. I remembered that he worked at a bar downtown. So when I was downtown one night and we couldn't find anywhere to go, you know what I did? I just hit up Spencer, and Spencer hooked us up. So thank you so much, Spence. Thank you. We really appreciated that. That was a good time. Good time.
That was more than a good time. We love it. It's always a party.
And it was too funny too when you were talking to us and you were saying how you guys aren't allowed to drink, but I think you were in a couple shots deep, weren't you?
It's just a couple when you and your guys were like, just do a shot with us, and I was like,
I'm already into
you guys got to get on my level.
Oh, it's too funny. See, look, that was already one story that we can share now.
Already, we're already on the roll.
We're already there. Okay, Spence. So let's get the viewers to know you a little bit more. So where are you from?
I am born and raised Scarborough, Ontario, Canada. Grew up here all my life. Spend a lot of time in the city. Ever since I turned, 19, 20, I spent all my time there, working out there, networking as much as possible, and not too much networking to do in Scarborough, Ontario. So got to head to the big city to do that, right?
Yeah. All the networking would definitely be in Toronto. Toronto,
exactly.
New York. That's where the place to be when you want to network.
Exactly. I don't know what all this talk about BC, West Coast, Best Coast, man. You got to just hit up Toronto, right?
Let's go to Toronto. I know, if you notice, BC was getting like so much attention over the past 2 years.
I know.
I'm like, I mean, it's beautiful there, but what else is there to do there? Like,
I don't know.
Not being biased or anything.
Yeah, not biased. Just not from here, but see some mountains, do some hikes. Like, I don't know what else is there to do. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, anyways, yeah, Toronto's the place to be for that. So, Spencer, what made you realize that you wanted to pursue music? Because we had a little chat prior, and then you were sharing what you already do. So, just tell everybody what exactly that is.
Well, right now, once I graduated, I did my undergrad at University of Toronto and got my major in kinesiology, and then jumped right into work and got a job as a personal trainer. Was doing really good there. I was ready to move up the ranks in terms of like the fitness world and whatnot. And then just thought, I don't know, it wasn't really doing it for me. And then COVID hit, and everything changed. I ended up quitting the gym, for multiple reasons. It just wasn't for me. And then, I don't know, I just decided that I did a lot of music in high school. So I decided that music was something that I felt like I could pursue a little bit more. So I started to write on my own and write songs that I would dread singing now because they're just god awful. And then, I don't know, I took it from there and just decided, you know what, screw it. Like, I'm going to do this way more seriously. And I started to actually genuinely pursue music.
What type of genre were you most interested in back in high school? Like, were you writing pop songs or was it always country?
Oh my gosh. In high school, I didn't even start writing my own music, like for real, until COVID hit, like 2020. But in high school, I was very much I was a pop top 40 guy. I loved just regular top 40 stuff. I don't know. It's like a guilty pleasure. Like I love listening to like pop all day albums on Spotify every now and then. But I met someone when I was like 16, 17, and she was a big country person, and she introduced me to country music, and then my whole world changed. I was like, this is way better than what I'm listening to. So then I started listening to country when I was like 16, 17, and never looked back.
You have to give her credit. You have to give her a lot of credit for that.
Honestly, yeah, there's no way around it. Like I wouldn't be listening to country music if it wasn't for her. So it is what it is.
So who do you listen to? Who are your top 3 artists that you would listen to daily?
Oh my gosh, that is, some people would be like, that is such a hard question. Like for me, it's like dead easy. Like I listen to Morgan Wallen on repeat. He is the biggest inspiration in terms of the way that I sing, the way that I write music. His musicianship and his talent is just unreal. And then I do a lot of research because like I'm trying to figure out what the industry is like, because I'm kind of a latecomer to it. And I know that he writes and hangs out a lot with Hardy and Ernest, and those are definitely my 3. They hang out together, they're friends. Like those are the guys that like I would love to like work up to do something that they're doing, like write the music that they write. You know what I mean?
You literally just labeled a friend group. That's what you did. The friend group.
Honestly, like, and I don't know how else to say it. Like they're literally, I feel like they're all on the same page. They're always write really good music. It's sometimes it's popular, sometimes like Hardy writes like heavy metal country, you know. Morgan can take a trap or a pop beat and do country on that, you know. Ernest like usually has more of like a 90s country kind of vibe to it. So it's like I get like the 3 areas that I would like to do in listening to those 3 guys. So it's like it works out for me.
So you know what you have to do now?
Mm.
You have to start manifesting. That's exactly what you have to do. If you believe it or not, it's up to you, but I'm telling you, dude, it works. It works. Start journaling, like write down that I have a song with Ernest Hardy and Morgan Wallen. That's what you have to start doing. I have a song. Or I am friends. And
yeah, okay.
Down the road, like it happens. The universe will help you out. Like it will, or she will, whatever you call the universe, it will help.
Yeah. Honestly, and it's a weird thing for me too, is because like me as an up and comer, like that question comes up a lot, you know, like who are you inspired by, who do you want to be like, and blah blah blah. And I always feel weird giving those answers because like I have the answers right there, but like I also want to manifest, like you said, like one day to be like friends with those guys or hang out with those guys or be able to like do what we do with those guys, you know what I mean? And like I think it'd be weird for them to like look back on a podcast and be like, oh, like he loved me and like stuff like that, when like I just want to be pals, you know. I just want to like hang out and like write music with everybody. So I don't know, it's kind of weird, but like that's definitely still my answer.
You know what? I get where you're coming from with that, but times change. Like you grow, like Billie Eilish. You know who Billie Eilish is?
Yeah.
So she was a big Justin Bieber fan. Like she had pictures of him all around her room. Now look, they're friends. I mean, Justin Bieber probably looked back on that and thought like, oh, like it's kind of it's a way. I guess, like it's kind of odd, but it's not like at the same time because it's like years ago. So I mean, once you become friends with them, they're gonna look at this podcast and it's gonna be like, oh, wow. It's gonna be a laugh. It's okay.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, Justin Bieber's on a track with her too. He jumped on Bad Guy, right? That was a great record.
Yeah, Justin Bieber is smart like Taylor Swift when it comes to marketing themselves and their songs. They're very smart business people. I will agree.
Yeah, them and the team around them. Like I hope, and that's a big thing for like an up and comer too, is like I'm trying to build a team that can get me places and can do things that I can't do by myself. And like those two are prime examples in the industry where their team just like blew them out of the water. Like whatever they did in terms of promotion and marketing and blah blah blah, like just, and their talent obviously speaks for themselves too, right?
Yep. couldn't agree anymore with you on that one.
Yeah.
Now, Spencer, back to you. You are in the process of recording songs. Am I
I
right?
am. I am.
So do you have a date on when your first song is going to be released?
I do not have the initial date, but I do know that we're aiming to have these records completely done and mastered by New Year's, by the end of Christmas. And then, like I said, with the team, it becomes like a marketing technique. When do we want to drop these tracks? What's the best time? You know, people in the industry coming back from holiday in January, you really want to drop a track around them. What are the big guys doing? You know, you don't want to drop a track when Morgan drops something new. You're not going to get any listeners. So it's like strategic, but I'm hoping March 2022 will be the time that I get to release at least my first single.
And how many tracks did you say that you guys are working on?
Right now we have 3 records in the works. I just finished recording and laid down all the vocals for that last week, which was a process, a big learning process for me. But 3 records is what we're aiming for.
And now, what can people expect with these 3 records? Sad, happy, upbeat, angry? What's going on?
Oh man, that's a great question. I think I chose along with my producer Sean Moore. I chose 3 records, or we chose 3 records that were different from one another. So like, we got one kind of like, I mean, it's a sad song, but it doesn't sound like a sad song. It's like kind of what Luke Combs likes to do, and he's like, where he takes like a message that's like kind of sad, but like sings it in a happy way. So it's like someone can like relate to the song a lot, but like it doesn't make them cry in their trucks. You know what I mean? We got one song like that. I have a ballad in the works, which means a lot to me because it was like the first song that I ever wrote front to back, no help, no nothing. Like it's just me. So like very personal song. And then kind of a more like a fan favorite. I've done a few shows, and every now and then, you know, and the people come up and you have to, where's this song? Where can I get this song? So I actually sang that song at the Moonshine Cafe, my very first writers round. And my producer, Sean Moore, was in the audience, and he said, we're cutting that track. And then the week later we cut it. It was great.
I have to take a listen to this song. I've never heard it.
I can send it to you, but only you can't tell anybody.
Okay. That's fair, Spencer. Yeah, please. Now I'm curious to hear that.
Yeah.
Upcoming shows, do you have any?
Honestly, like that is probably the hardest thing that I've had to do in the city of Toronto is like what bars want to do a folk pop country singer. But I mean, Rock and Roll's just opened up. So now it becomes a chore and a task for, not a chore, but like a task for me to get myself around the bars of Toronto and try and get some shows going to get myself practice. Hopefully Celine's Country with Celine comes on. I would love to do that show. I'd love nothing more than to sing with you guys. That'd be great.
Once it starts back up again, Spencer, you will be the first one to know. Don't you worry.
That'll be my.
I'd also mention in Barrie too. There's places in Barrie that you can go check out.
Yeah, we were talking about that too. So I mean, that's another thing that I have to do is gotta get in the truck, drive around. You know, you did one in Vaughan. You know, there's Barrie. There's you know, KX96 is in, you know, Durham, like Bowmanville. Get myself out there and try and figure out like how to get my voice heard a little bit more, especially as an up and comer, you know.
It's always kind of difficult at first, but then once you have that first break, it will help you like a lot. Once the certain person hears the song, then you'll just keep going upwards from there.
Yeah, once you get one show, you get 10 shows, right?
Exactly. That's
true. The goal.
That's the goal. Now, Spencer, going back to 2020, there's a lot that I feel like you've learned. I mean, personal trainer, then you kind of decided to jump the gun and pursue music. So what's something that you learned?
Oh my gosh. I mean, as morbid as it sounds, like ain't nobody in it but you know what I mean? Like if you want something, like no one, like I could have been a personal trainer and no one would have batted an eye. Like maybe my sister would have been the only one that would have been like, you know, like you can do music, like, but everyone else would have been like, more than happy, how's personal training going? How is this going? Like, no one would have ever pushed myself to do something that was kind of out of the blue, outside the box. It's a very unsecure kind of profession, at first, especially. So like, you got to make, I don't want to swear, you got to make stuff happen for you. Like, if you want something, like you said, manifested, like, it's on you to do the work. And if you don't do the work, you're not going to get the result. That was a big learning process for me in 2020.
As long as you believe in yourself, just block out all the noise. If people say, no, you can't do something, it's like, no. I can, and I will show that I can do it, whatever I've set my mind to. Right?
Yeah, honestly, it's weird. Like, when people do say something like that, like, I had a buddy who genuinely does believe in my career, but he did say, how long are you going to hold out before, like, it doesn't work out? And I was like, never. What do you mean? Like, it's weird for me to think that way, because I'm so all in, and it probably scares the crap out of, my friends. It scares the crap out of my parents, like, because it's just like, you never know. But I don't know. I just don't think about it that way. So, like, I'm resonating with what you're saying. Like, you have to believe in, like, what you love and do what you love.
Exactly.
Right.
And now, Spencer, before I let you go, we're going to play a little game. Okay. So I'm going to throw you over some controversial, every time I say that name wrong.
Controversial
questions.
Okay.
You ready?
I can do this. I'm not nervous. Yeah.
They're very different. I'll just say that.
Expecting the worst.
The first one. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Cereal soup.
Cereal soup. Like, is cereal soup?
Cereal a soup?
No.
No. Okay. No,
it can't be, right? Oh man, but like, now I'm trying to think of the definition of soup. I'm going with no. That's just weird. No, it's not hot.
A pineapple on pizza or off pizza?
Oh man, time and place. I would say no, though. No, I'm not a Hawaiian guy. No.
Is a hot dog a sandwich? Yes or no?
Oh my gosh. No, it's not. It's between one thing, and there's two. I'm also going with no. A hot dog is its own entity. You have a sandwich, a hamburger, or a hot dog. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Toilet paper over or under? So when you put the toilet paper on, like,
on the roll,
does it hang over, or do you put the part behind touching the wall?
Oh man, people that put it behind. I mean, I'm sorry if this is you, but people that put it behind, they, you need to do a lap. You need to get checked. Like, it's an over thing for me always.
Over all the time. Oh my God.
I feel like we're on the same page. Like, I'm looking at you, like, with my responses, and you're like, and you're like checking it off. You're like, yep, that's the right answer. Like, absolutely good.
Okay, there's one more that I want to ask you. And people talk about this a lot, and I don't think anyone ever is going to know the answer to this. So when you are underwater, is water wet?
Are you wet?
Are you wet? Yeah, like, is it a thing or no?
Oh my God. You know what's so funny? Before I, like, put a pin in that, before you actually asked the question, you were like, and I don't think anybody knows. I was like, oh my gosh, she's going to ask me what happens when we die or something like that. Like, I was like, oh man, I'm not ready. That's too much.
No.
I feel like underwater, like no. Oh man, I'm going to get some hate for this. No, you're not wet underwater. You're wet in relation when you're in, like, above water. That's when you're deemed as wet, because it's in relation to the water, if that makes sense.
No, it makes sense. I would think the same thing when you're out of the water. Then you're wet, but not in the water.
No one cares if we were both underwater and I, like, went like that. Like, if I actually, like, I felt your skin, I wouldn't be like, ew, that's all wet. Like, no, it doesn't feel wet, does it?
No, honestly, that's such a trip. Like, when people ask that, imagine getting that question when you're, like, a couple drinks in. That's like or, like, you know what I mean?
I would literally be like, I'd be staring you in the face without an answer, just thinking and pondering for like 20 minutes before you actually got a decent response out of me.
We should have done that. That's what we should do next time.
Next time, okay? I'll get you in again. We'll hook it up and we'll do the same thing. And this time I won't work. I'll just sit and we'll chat.
Okay, sounds good.
Right.
Thank you so much, Spencer, for joining me today on Country with Celine. It was so awesome chatting with you, and I can't wait to hear your songs. I'm excited.
Yeah, big stuff coming. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak. Thank you so much.
Should've come with a warning. Ooh, should've come with a warning.